Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Progress Nali, and I'll be your anchor for tonight's session. So, for those of you that joined us yesterday, we had our orientation on what Tech Pass Campus program is all about. And I'm sure you've gotten a whole lot from the orientation. And you got to listen to the speakers we had on the show yesterday. And I hope you got note of you took note of everything they said. So, from the last orientation we had, one of the speakers spoke to you all about the Tech 101 series. So, the Tech 101 series is a week long power packed webinar. It's designed exclusively for all of you. So, Tech 101 is your ultimate guide to navigating the vast world of technology. So, this is basically an introductory course to help because campus program that's what you think is the new trend, or that's what you feel you should just register and apply for. Do you understand? So um we've noticed that most persons these days just navigate into tech without knowing what they can really do and how to go about it. So basically the organizers of the Tech Pass Campus program, they decided to come up with this 1 week series to let you know what each stack is about. So you know what you're about to delve into. So it's not like we took you unaware. So you know, okay, if it's data analytics, if it's web development, this is what it's about. So here on this Tech 101 series, this webinar is crafted to help you understand what each skill is about, like I said. It's going to help you gain clarity on each stack. Probably there are some misconceptions you have about data analytics. Data analytics is this, it's that. So this Tech 101 series is going to help clear any misconceptions, whatever thing you've had in your head about any course, any stack at all. We're going to clear every misunderstanding. I hope you got what I said. Okay, so this series is also tailored to help you know exactly, to help you be certain that, okay, this is what I'm going for. And then this is also going to help you because from the last session where we're told that you Okay, I'm sorry for that break. Okay, so as I was saying, we'll be diving into the world of data analytics today. So just so you find clarity on anything you feel data analytics is about or anything you thought it was, so would be dealing with Sir Owen. Yes, we remember Sir Owen from the last session. He's the director of trainings and he will be the data analytics tutor for the Tech Pass Campus program. He will be joining us now. Sir Owen, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Progress. How we all doing, everyone? Hope we had a nice day. Hope we had a good day. It's so good to be here with us. My name is Owen Gilbert once again, and I'm your director of training, and I'll also be the trainer for the data analytics stack or the data analytics course. And just like we've been told earlier, the reason why we're here tonight is to make very clear what data analytics is all about. So, every participant in this program would be very clear about what they are venturing into. Um, During the course of this evening, I'm going to explain what data analytics is about, what is the comfortable roadmap to learning data analytics, why data analytics is good. I may at certain points hint if data analytics is good for you or not. So generally in the next 40 to 45 minutes, we're just gonna have Israel time. So get yourselves ready, get your pen, your paper, your notepad, and just get yourselves in a comfortable place to take notes and whatever questions you're having, note them down. We'll be able to tackle them at the end of the session. So um, that's that. Let's kick off into data analytics. Yeah. So basically, data analytics is the art of unlocking insights, and that's why I have that as my topic there: unlocking insights and introduction to data analytics. Now, the common misconception that people have, especially people around Nigeria, when you hear data analytics, the first thing that comes to your mind, data, you'll be thinking, yeah, maybe internet subscription, or sometimes you think it's just, some random thing here and there. But as we're going to see shortly, that data analytics is at the core of every thriving business and every business that's growing or that has growth as it's one of its main objectives. Now, data analytics is basically examining data to draw conclusions and to identify patterns. Um, every person that has sane mental capacity does a minimal level of data analytics every day. The concept of data analytics is that you have a particular information, we have a particular data that you analyze so you can make a decision. Certain points you may not just be analyzing, or when we say analyzing, would be referring to identifying patterns, if there are relationships between items, if there is a trend to how this thing happens. So those are things that one looks forward to in data analysis. Now, based on the findings that we have, we end up making decisions, we end up making conclusions. Now, we are all students. Some of us may be in a 400 level, some of us may be in our final year. So, you you know of your projects that you usually do final year and all that. You know that usually your chapter three is something like chapter one is like your introduction, chapter two is your literature review, chapter three materials and methods, Chapter 4 is the what's it called now, like analysis part. And then chapter 5 is where you make your recommendation. Basically, what you're doing in that project is you are analyzing certain data that you have or you have been able to generate or calculate, and then make informed decisions. Now, data analytics, as we're going to see very soon, is very vital. It's like saying I want to pick a course to study. I want to pick a course to study in school or maybe in my master's degree. And at the back of my head, I'm like, okay, what course do I offer? What course do I consider? And because I want to make that decision, but I need to make that decision based on certain data, I'm now asking questions like, okay, what jobs are available for the different options that I have, which is more profitable. Now, what I'm doing is I'm asking certain questions, and those questions will help me to get the necessary data, which is like the job opportunities available for each of the different courses, the salaries, the payment plan for each of the different courses. Now, when I have those information that are now relevant are data to me for me to make my informed decision. So I can end up saying that this course A, seems to be more profitable, more sustainable based on the data that I have seen and analyzed, and so I'm making my decision. Okay, so I said that the the average sane person does a certain level of data analysis every day. It's another basic example would be you want to step out of your house tomorrow, and then you realize that the weather was not so bright, and you also notice that for the previous 2 or 3 days it had rained cats and dog. Now, those information of the weather and previous records of rainfall are data that is available to you, and you are now analyzing that information to make a decision if you should go out or you should stay back. So that's the base definition of data analytics, that you have data, you are analyzing those data, and you want to make decisions. Now, key points about data are collecting the data, cleaning, analyzing, and then going forward to interpret that data. And we are going to see all this as we progress. Now, try not to jump ahead of myself. I try to take it a bit slow, because why data matters is a key reason why data analytics matters. Now, the advantage that data analytics throws is so huge that I just had to minimize it to this few amount of items. Now, if I want to make decisions, I want to make decisions that have the less risk and the highest probability of being successful. So I need those decisions to be backed by facts, to be backed by data rather than gut feeling. So businesses, organizations, decisions want to be made on data driven, platforms. They want to decisions should be made that are backed by data. So we want our decisions to be informed by evidence, which will lead to better outcomes. It's like saying that I already see that this organization has a track record of giving me 85% ROI, and I have another business that I cannot predict because they do not have any historical data on how much that they produce as ROI on investment. Now, I would rather stick with the organization that has an 85% chance of 85% return on investment, because there is data that backs up that decision. Okay, so data analytics and data matters because we want to make data driven decisions. And secondly, we want to make sure that our decisions increase efficiency. So, optimizing processes, reducing waste, and saving time. Now, some of these important reasons are going to clash here and there while I'm trying to explain them, but Look at it this way, that assume a popular brand, or let's say Coca-Cola or Pepsi, or a very popular brand within Nigeria organization, and they produce perishable products and they supply to different states across the nation. Now, there's something that's going to be at the back of your mind, which is how much do I need to supply to these different locations? So they want to make a decision, but that decision should be backed by data. It should be a data driven decision. And the reason why they want to make that decision is they want to increase efficiency. So they want to optimize the routes that they would take in delivering that particular product to their different locations so they don't have wastages. They also want to optimize the process based on the same route so that it will take lesser time for these products to get to their locations, reducing waste, saving time. All right. So these are the reasons why organizations want to analyze the data. So in an instance like that, that's a logistic example, they would want to analyze and find out what roads or the distance of each road to their different locations. Now, depending on the kind of product, they may also want to find out what is the distance of each road. Now, all these are different things that they would have to analyze in order to increase the efficiency of their service. We also have enhanced customer experience, which will involve having tailored recommendations and um, predictions, tailored offers to customers based on their previous experiences. Now, I would usually tell a lot of persons that I meet that we go into a lot of businesses most times not knowing that businesses have certain models that are used to make sure that we spend more. For example, if you go to some of the big malls and all that, you would notice that they try to they try to reduce the amount of distraction you have from outside of their complex or outside of their building. So the moment you get in through the entrance, maybe you just get a bit down, you'd almost no longer notice how bright the day is anymore, because they've realized that from certain models and data that has been analyzed, that the longer customers stay, the more they are likely to spend. Aside from that, they've also realized that certain times, if a particular customer buys a particular product, the chances of him to buy so and so product is higher than for him to buy so and so product. So if he buys this product, offer him this product. It's simple. It's like saying I try to make a purchase for a trouser, a pair of trouser on maybe an e-commerce platform or something. I try to make a purchase for a pair of trousers. And now from data that the business has, they have also realized that um, many persons that buy trousers end up buying a belt as well. Now, because they have that backed up by data, they want to improve your experience, so they can suggest buying a belt as well, or maybe giving a discount on a belt. All they are trying to do is they are trying to enhance your customer experience so you're more satisfied and they, of course, earn. Now, data is also important because it helps us to predict. Data, as we're going to see in predictive analytics, is almost like an oracle because it allows you to know what possibly could happen. What is the possibility of certain events taking place or occurring based on previous data? So it's like saying those of us that watch football matches, someone can come boldly and say that I know that so and so club will defeat so and so club. And the reason why they'll be giving you that is that look at history. For the last 10 years, this person has not defeated this person. And so I can boldly beat my chest that this trend is going to continue. So, based on historical data, they can anticipate how the future would be. As a matter of fact, for those that participate in online bettings and all that, that's how the odds and all that are formed. the previous records of the performance of the clubs and all that. So data is important in predictive analysis, and we are going to see all that soon. Okay, so guys, I hope we're taking notes. I hope we're all flowing. If you have any questions, please write them down. When it's time for questions, we'll take up all your questions in the question section. So data analytics is completely for everybody. It's not a difficult thing. Yes, it's going to require certain soft skills, as I'm going to mention subsequently, but it's a very wonderful thing. I ventured into data analytics some years back, and I've never regretted for a moment going into it. It's something I've enjoyed. So we're going to see that. We're going to talk about all those things, and having your questions also would help us dive deeper. And you have an advantage as a student learning data analytics. All right. So let's go on. So if you're here on this um, video and you've not yet liked, so please do well, drop a like. If you've not yet commented something, you can drop your name, your school on the comment section, and do well to, yeah, just follow along. Okay. And if you've not subscribed, also make sure you subscribe. Now, types of data analytics: we have descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. Descriptive is usually what happened. It attempts to answer the question, what happened? Okay, so if I'm experiencing a boost in my sales, descriptive data analytics will attempt to tell me what happened in my previous data. What happened? Okay, what is the behavior of my data based on previous records? That's what descriptive analytics will tell me. It's more of, it's a historian. It tells you what has happened before. It reveals what is available in your previous data. Okay, now diagnostic analytics is why did something happen, and so you see things like root cause analysis. Why did it happen? Remember, descriptive is what happened. It's like a business calling you to audit what's in our data, right? Diagnostic analytics is why did something happen? Why am I experiencing a boost? Why is this business doing better than mine? Why is product A doing better in the market and product B not doing so good? Why is my customer retention very low? Why are my employees not happy? Why is employer happiness low? Now, all these are diagnostic analytics, and it's like the job of a doctor trying to diagnose to find out what's going on, why is something happening. All right, and then we have predictive analysis, and of course, you can guess what it is, can't you guys? You can guess what it is, right? So the moment you're hearing predictive, you know you're saying something that is futuristic. Okay, so predictive analytics is like the oracle part of data analytics, and we're saying that what could possibly happen. That's what predictive. So you see how data analytics already told you that data analytics is like a historian, is like a doctor. Now we're telling you it's like an oracle, it's like a predictor. It's telling you this will happen. Okay, that if you're into forex trading and all this crypto and all that, you could see that there are certain persons that could speak with confidence and tell you this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. All right, those persons have to an extent analyze the data to be able to make predictive conclusions. Now you can't do all this without data. Finally, you have prescriptive analytics. You have prescriptive analytics, which is what should I do? So here once again, data analytics is a counselor. What should be done? What should be done? That's what prescriptive analytics is, and that's what you usually do in your recommendations. Now, one key place where we use predictive analytics is in A/B testing. Is in A/B testing. Now, um, organizations want to sometimes test between various products, which is better, or Sometimes if you're very careful about the posts you make on Facebook, it's possible to add A/B testing on that, to say which of these posts is performing better. Okay, so what A/B testing is we have two products and we want to see which one does better. So if it's a sales analytics, which one does better in sales? If it's a profit analysis, which one does better in profit? If it's a even if it's a reactive analysis, for example, those that are in the health sector, as we are going to see, data analytics plays out in how you administer certain chemicals to certain bacteria or viruses based on reaction time, based on of individuals. Okay, now all that is prescriptive analytics. All right, guys, I hope I'm making sense to us. So, at every point, I'm trying to make us see how data analytics is absolutely for everyone, and it offers you a wide range of opportunity in different industries, as we're going to see subsequently. And not just that, it plays an active part of your daily routine and your daily life, right? Someone that's deep into data analytics or understands the basics of data analytics will realize decision making will be a bit different for such a person, right? The person will not just jump on decisions without having certain kinds of data to back it up. And number two, because the person has built experience in analyzing data, he would be able to say, oh, this is how this should be made, even though I have data, right? This is what my data is, or this is how I should evaluate the data. For instance, let me give a very good example. Now, there's something we're going to do in data analytics, and it's regression analysis. Some of you may have learned it in your year three or year two and all that. Regression analysis, which tries to build a model that can predict, okay, that can predict. Now, one thing we can do in regression analytics is we could find out what variables influence a certain thing the more. What do I mean? I want to drink a cup of tea. I want to drink a cup of tea, and I have a teaspoon of sugar and I have a teaspoon of honey. I have a teaspoon of sugar and have a teaspoon of honey. Now, of course, we know that both of them are going to increase the sweetness of that tea. Now, if I the analyst will now be able through regression analysis to say that, oh, see that the teaspoon of sugar is going to increase the sweetness by so and so level, while the teaspoon of honey will increase it at so and so level, and now be able to tell you that, see, from the data and my analysis, I can tell you and assure you that sugar actually sweetens the tea more than honey. So I would recommend sugar if that's what you want for a sweeter tea. Okay, now those are some of the things that we can do with our analysis. Now, somebody that has this experience at the back of his head, when he sees data, is not just jumping into conclusion, because he'll begin to weigh which of these values influence this thing the more. I hope I'm making sense to us. Okay, so if I have three variables that in a utopian society should influence the wealth status of an individual, let's say educational level, let's say skill, and let's say hard work. Education, skill, and hard work. And we are saying that these three variables influence the wealth level of a particular individual within that society. The data analyst or someone that has an experience in analysis can be able to say that, look, although these three values influence this, they do not influence in the same range, that these may have more influence on wealth than these other two. Okay, so those are some of the things we do in data analytics, and so over time it becomes a daily part of your life. Okay, there's so much more, but I'm trying to I don't get so deep, yeah. But I'm being tested. So for hypothesis testing, like I was mentioning before, we have two products or two items, and we want to know which, at the end of my analysis, I can now prescribe and tell the organization that, look, product B definitely does better in the market than product A. Now try to think of any product or any item you've bought in the market before, and after some time you just didn't find it anymore. Maybe two products came out, a particular brand, let's say TechPass soft drinks, right? TechPass Africa soft drinks, and they produce two particular flavor of soft drinks, cola and lemon water. Now, although they have two products available, they may want to find out over a test period which of these is more profitable to continue on the long run. Now, for those that are going to be in the data analytics class, we're going to talk mention strategic business decisions, which are decisions that should last on the long run. So they want to now know which of this particular product, either the cola or the lemon water, should last longer in the market. Through hypothesis testing, they can be able to come to that conclusion and say that from what we've analyzed, we are certain that we can stick with cola and make more profit over the long run than with lemon water. Now, the process of data analytics will first of all begin with analyzing the problem. So we must be very clear on what our problem is. Of course, the moment your problem is not very obvious, it's not clear to you, then what are you going to solve? Because the whole aim of data analytics is to solve problems. So we are first of all going to start at the point of defining the problem, to clearly define the problem. This is the point where one has to avoid ambiguity, right? So you have to make sure that your what you want to do is clear. Okay, your project objective is as clear as it should be. Um, and then part of what we do at this point is to be able to develop data-driven questions. Is to be able to develop data-driven questions. So the right questions, after defining what our problem is, we should be able to state what are the right questions that will help us solve the problem. The right problems that will help us, the right questions that will help us solve the problem. Okay, and then we can now proceed from that point to collect data. Now, I'm not going to go down so much into all this. So we clean data, we analyze data, we visualize and interpret the results with use of dashboards. Okay, we're going to see all that, and then we make decisions out of that. Now, common things that we are going to use: data collection. We're going to do data collection, data cleaning, data analysis, and data visualization. Those are all parts of essential things we're going to be doing. Okay. Now, all those things are critically explained more during the course of the program. Healthcare, finance, marketing, retail, sports, business, just name it. Data analytics plays out in each of these different areas. Logistics, in hospitality, in law, data analytics plays out. So just remember that in data analytics, we are thinking of analyzing data to make decisions. So in healthcare, we can see an example there: predicting disease outbreaks. So with data of crops, of how they respond to certain bacteria and viruses, we can predict if this disease will break out in certain region or not, which regions have a high propensity to this and to that. And like I mentioned earlier, if you've been to the hospital before, or those of us that are in health related courses, you would know that there are certain drugs they may not prescribe to individuals that are with maybe a specific blood group or a particular condition like pregnancy. And the reason they could come to those decisions is because they've analyzed how those chemicals in each of these drugs react with um, those conditions or whatever. And so they can now say, oh, look, this is not great for this or this is not great for that. Okay. So let me just round it up. So the data journey, we're going to learn the basics. We're going to touch statistics, SQL, Python, and also data visualization. We're going to do practice, and then if you're very serious about your data analytics career, your data career, you have to go on to build a personalized portfolio. Now, challenges and opportunities, um, data quality, incomplete or inaccurate data, data privacy issues. Now, for opportunities, you have skill gap, so there's a need for skilled professionals. And then sometimes the tools may appear to be complex, but basically they are not. Okay. Now, the future of data plays out in AI integration. Many of us are are running back and forth with the possibilities that are happening with AI now. Everything is just working out because of the advent of data. All right, because of what we can now do with data, because of the amount of data we have available to us. Now, also real-time analytics, which some platforms are already doing. Real-time analytics, like if data is coming in now, there should be a platform that is analyzing that data on the go and is giving me results based on what I want to do. Now, number three is edge computing. So I hope we're together, guys. Right? Edge computing. So data processing is becoming closer to data sources. Okay, every organization that's gathering this data is now processing its own data, and everything is just going on um, as it should be. Okay, so for anyone that's interested in learning data analytics, the learning path will be to start from a very basic and popular tool like a spreadsheet tool, and then move to a BI tool, a business intelligence tool. Then we'll move to a database management tool, and then we'll move forward to programming. So basically, data analytics is for everyone. Um, yeah, is it demanding? Yeah, it can be a bit demanding. Of course, there's nothing that is not demanding, but it's not something that's going to take you away from your studies. And it's very interesting. Data analytics is very interesting. You have the opportunity to unlock hidden insights from data. You have immense power at your hands if you can be able to analyze data comfortably and accurately. All right, so that would be the end of my speaking session. So maybe we'd give room for questions, or I'm just going to hand over back to um, our director, team lead, progress. I think maybe we should give room for questions, but I'm good at this point. Progress, can you hear me? Okay, while we're waiting for progress, if we have any questions, please do well to drop them and I would attend to them before we round up for the day. So I'm looking forward to having our questions. Do you have anything you want to be clear about data analytics, job roles? Is there any misconception or ambiguity you're having about data analytics? Um, do well to drop your questions now, because I guess we'll soon be done for the night. Any questions, guys? Okay, so I'm guessing there is no questions. So um, unless there's
All
anything
right,
else,
Mr. Wen. Mr. Wen, can you hear us?
I can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So we're trying to connect progress back to you again. Just a second. Okay, yeah, I think progress is back with you now. Thank you.
Okay, progress. I'm done. I think I have no questions for this section. Once again, a very big thank you to you,
Okay.
and you can go on.
All right, Mr. Wen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, sir. So a couple of people are saying they don't have questions in this section. So we just want to thank you for making our time to give us so much knowledge right there, so much information right there. Really do appreciate it. Please, for everyone watching, know that tomorrow we're going to be having another section again for another course so that you just get to understand what all these tech stacks are all about, all these in-demand tech skills, what they're all about before you make a decision. So once again, thank you so much. Yeah, progress. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Okay, so you can take it over from there. Well done.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, thank you once again, Sir Owen, for that wonderful session. So, to the viewers, I hope you enjoyed the session. I can see the comment section already. I know you had a wonderful session because trust me, you just heard from one of the best data analysts like in the tech space. So, wrapping up, I want to say a very big thank you to those of you that joined us for this session. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you got a whole lot, like, because I know he shared a whole lot on everything, every single thing you need to know about data analytics. So I hope you took notes as well so you can reflect on them. Thank you so much. So I think we'll be calling it a night from here. And just in case you didn't get my name earlier, I'm Progress Nali and I'm the community manager for TechPass Africa. Thank you so much. And that will be all for tonight. Good night, everyone. Thank you.